G gonna head up to the top rune. Bounty rune will be snagged by Super though. And already up to 3K. But this is going to be a slower radiance than you normally expect out of your mid-alchemist because Virtus.pro have been putting so much pressure there.
Yeah, the fact that he's only 200 net worth above the Wind Ranger is pretty surprising. And this goes, like you said, just to show how much Virtus.pro have been able to do to slow him down. They took his stacks, they made a dedicated effort to gank him in the mid lane. And slowing him down is definitely going to be crucial to their strategy. Is they want to try to get aggressive, start playing the objectives at any point.
DK Phobos does have his completed earn and level 6 ready to go, so he can be a factor here. And maybe gaining a quick pick off for VP, but right now they seem more concerned to just farming up and perhaps making up for a lot of the time that they spent in the enemy jungle. You need to still get that gyrocopter's basic amount of farm.
Alright, so the gyrocopter, despite the fact that he's actually gone around roaming, he's kind of kept up in net worth. I know he's 500 behind the Queen of Pain, but he's provided so much for his team, and this is something that you sort of expect. Like, gyrocopter is not the traditional one carry that you'll see. You're generally going to be the hero that rotates down for your team, so that, like you said, you can open up the 4-position role for Lil, and he's actually going to be more like a core hero this game. And this is how Virtus.pro almost always run it, where Lil is just going to get an exclusive amount of farm. You build him so that he can pretty much solo burst any hero by himself with just the medallion.
I love this. Look at this gank coming out. The smoke goes out. They're going to be able to hit Burning with the ultimate burst. Follow up with the birds, and that is a beautiful setup by Virtus.pro. Lil lending his familiars up to that top lane gank. Does manage to get a critical kill on Burning.
And that's something else that we haven't really talked about, is the global presence of the birds at all time. And when you've got a hero that, or a player that can control it like that, it makes it so difficult. You get caught out unaware so quickly.
I think that the best part of that smoke as well is the fact that it allowed DK Phobos close enough to just throw out Nether Strike, right? And he didn't have to try and lead in with a charge, and the Queen of Pain would get some distance back to that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and despite getting that much, Super still has a pretty healthy amount of farm. He's going to pick up the 12-minute Radiance, and we are talking a lot about what VP are able to do, but this lineup doesn't really come online until Super grabs that Radiance.
Yeah, I was almost expecting Virtus.pro to go for like this rinse and repeat every few minutes, go into the enemy jungle, but I guess they feel like they shut down the Alchemist enough that they can go ahead and focus on their own farm and maybe, you know, shutting down some of those other heroes like Burning.
Yeah, and they're going to try to get aggressive into the enemy jungle. This is what you want to do as the Dire. Don't give the 3 utmost right camps up for free, and that's why VP, they're just farming on the left side, and Lil is just completely playing by his tower because everybody's missing on the map. And this is readily apparent that they've gone for the smoke just because nobody's defending this mid lane right now, and nobody's punishing FNG at top.
Lil's gonna run into him. F1 will be able to slow down Lil a bit. Burning comes forward, but with the extra movement speed coming out from that Grave Chill, Lil will be perfectly fine.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't just Winter's Curse and blow him up with maybe 1 or 2 abilities. They potentially thought there was more heroes there at bottom, but
yeah,
it's actually the rotation at top.
They've been missing for quite a long time, and maybe that's why they didn't want to use Winter's Curse and Sonic Wave, because what if the Dazzle, right, was behind that Visage, and all of a sudden the Gyrocopter comes in, you've expended everything for a hero you didn't actually kill, and VP can make the turnaround. The truth is, though, VP are actually moving into the enemy jungle once again, as FNG was signaling that for a few minutes now.
Yeah, it's easy from our perspective to just say, because we have perfect vision, obviously, that they could have made the rotation down and killed them instantly, but if it was a smoke gank, you might just lose the game right there, because right after that they would have the medallion on the Visage, they'd probably go for the Roshan, and they'd so much map control as a result. But there are a lot of wards in the Radiant jungle as we see, and you want to try to get aggressive with these as much as possible.
Got the charge on Super, as well as the ultimate for the Spirit Breaker, slowed down by the Gyrocopter ult, and G will take yet another snipe at those kills.
Yeah, 6-1 in 14 minutes, and he goes for the Shackle. A little bit too far, but this should mean the mid tower for VP as they're going to swarm around. And ViciGaming, I don't even really think they have enough to quickly push down this tower. VP might have enough time to respond.
G catches 2 Queen of Pains, both illusions obviously. ViciGaming will be able to take that bottom tier 1 tower, looks like, before VP rotate. They did have a glyph, but now doesn't they have T heroes. DK almost doesn't have. Just gonna keep going, pressure the 2.